Good evening, students. Welcome to today's instructor. I'm George Bawe, your instructor. Last week we looked on the computerized accounting system, what they are, and this week we are starting on advantage of computerized accounting system. What are the advantage? Because everything that has advantage also has its disadvantage. So we are looking at the advantage of computerized accounting system. One, can produce invoices. When you have your computerized accounting, if you have been to the mall before, you discover when you buy things, after you finish buying and you key in your credit card, once the money is deducted from it, they give you a receipt. So it can give you a receipt, can give you an invoice of what you have bought, or it gives you what invoice the goods you have bought. Two, purchase orders and order documents quickly. Now through your computer, you can easily send for online trading, can purchase online, and at the end of the day, they bring your goods to you. Three, many report apps are automatically updated and instantly available. Once you want to report, all you just need is just to press in and it brings out your whatever you required of it. Then next one is better quality and lower operating costs. You know, when you are installing, it's very costly, but when operation starts, you don't spend much. You spend at least is no human resources, empowerment, and others in it. Next is better efficient and greater accuracy. Better efficient and greater accuracy. So fast, it's very efficient. You don't need to labor before you get it done. Then minimum error. There are minimum error in case you are imputing in something and it's not correct. It will tell you what you are doing is not correct. Then we look at disadvantages of computerized accounting system. What are the disadvantages? One, heavy cost of installation. I told you at the beginning that at the beginning when you start, the cost of installation is very much, knowing how many computer you want, getting the central computer, then, computer hardware needs, replacing our software needs to be updated from time to time with available newer versions. Now, on computer, you discover that every 3 months, there are always newer versions of what you have been doing before. As your phone, your phone is part of those computer things you talk about, and they always change. Then we also look at high cost of training. High cost of training, you want to go on online training or somebody needs to train you, you have to pay so much before you are able to get the training. You pay so much. The last time I was thinking of updating my skill a bit about the computer, and the guy told me to go and bring 15,000 naira just for 3 months. And when I was shouting, he said, that there are people also who pays more than that just within 1 week, just 1 week, and they pay more than 15,000. And mine is just 3 months. And so fear of then we also look at fear of employment. The more the computer is working, what people, 3, 4, 5 people are doing, just one person can just sit down, input everything, and the work is done. Then disruption of work. There's always disruption of work. When you are connecting and putting things together, you discover that there's always a disruption of work. Then we look at system failure and time consuming. So times you just put in, when I first put in, I just discovered that there was a failure, the network failure, and it's also a time consuming. By the time you begin to plug and replug, you now begin to see that things are, and sometimes people have to go back to the manual and do it. Then the next one is unanticipated error that is not known. Error that you never envisaged would happen, then are not happening. Like you are asking the computer to bring something and it's bringing another thing to you. So we see the errors, that those are unknown errors. And sometimes it might be virus. Virus might wipe out every information you have on the computer. And at the end of the day, you have to reinstall again. So if you don't have a good hardware on it, then all your information, they are gone. You have to come back again. Take, for example, there was a time I've been using Airtel for a long time. Just suddenly, I was told that the card is corrupt. Most virtually all my information were gone. If not that I had I put it on the Google, Google that would have I would have said bye-bye to all my informations. Then we look at the importance of this. What are the importance of a computerized system, accounting system? One, it's is to help this business by making their staffs efficient. It's help business, making their staff efficient. Then they can work very well, because once you've learned the skill, then it's very, very good for you. It's so efficient in you. Two, productive and also save their valuable time. Very productive and save their valuable time. In those days in the bank, you, after all the settle and done, you now write again. After you finish writing, then you now begin to enter. You now have to balance your account for that day. And some people will not leave the office till 12 o'clock because one money, the 1 naira is missing. So it saves valuable time. Then it helps also to maintain business. It helps to maintain business because you are connected. There is interconnectivity, and also you are connected in outside, and so it helps to also to maintain business, and also financial information for the business to be well organized. You'll be able to know, what you spent, you know what is coming in, you know what is going out financially, you know your balance, your debit balance, you know your credit balance at the end of the day. That helps you. Then the components are hardware. We have the components, the components of the account, their hardware, software, people, and procedures. When we talk about the components, we talk about the hardware, that is the computer itself, or the CPU, all those things that are seen, I can touch, be touched and seen. The keyboard, those are your hardwares. Then we look at your softwares. When we talk about your software, we are talking about the programs, the programming, all those software, soft copy of what you put into the computer to reassess it. Then you need people. People comes in and you use them for the program that you are using. So talk about the people, that's the human resources. People press the computer, would input it, and also the computer brings the output. Then we also look at procedures. There are always procedure. You don't just put on the computer and just be pressing. Then you'll be pressing nonsense inside the computer. So there's always a procedure. So some of us, we need to be computer literate. Just go to maybe just a certificate in computer, then you are working. Then let's look at computerized accounting system. Mainly service three basic functions. It serves three basic functions. One, to collect and process data. You collect and process your data. You talk about the primary data or the secondary data. You collect and process your data. Two, to provide information to decision makers. When you have all your programs, then the decision makers can always go into the computer, print out the information. Then possibly they can also detect errors or fraud while they are trying to produce, do their maintain their objectives. Then an accounting personal record is also accounting personal record information, and is accurately and protect data. So when we talk about that, is the accounting personal record information accurately, or process records accurately, and protect data. Your data are protected apart from few errors that you come by in the accounting. Then let's look at tools and techniques. The tools and techniques. Computer adds tools and added tools and techniques support all computers. And science students and teachers usually use applications which are fundamental procedures to each specific answer, using your CAAT as a means to training. Then the City Council Audit Organization and Accounting. Then auditing tools and techniques. Data for auditing can be collected through surveys, through questionnaires, interview, focus groups, and direct observation. When we talk about, through surveys, to have different types of survey, questionnaires, you print out your questions and people answer them, submit them to you. They can use that to do your data. Then we also look at interview, because focus groups and direct observation. When we talk about interview, that is one-on-one. We are talking to one person one-on-one, and direct observation. There's a direct observation where you sit down and look at what is happening. Or you can just be in the bank, sit down, look at how the banks are being run and others. So that's it. Then we'll look at auditing through the computer. What are auditing through the computer? Auditing through the computer describes the various steps taken by the auditor to evaluate client software and hardware. The software and hardware. That's auditing through the computer describes the various steps taken by the auditors to evaluate client software and hardware to determine the reliability, of the account of the person in the computer. So when auditing through, when the auditing is true with the computer, auditors follow the internal computer operation in order to verify the AIS programs functions properly. Then additionally, it attempts to validate the accounting data being processed. We want to validate the accounting data being processed. We want to know if the data that are being processed, they are real data or they are not, or something is faked among the data. So we also look at the auditor assume that the CPU and additional hardware are functioning properly. That means they are connected and they are functioning properly. Then we look at the 5 techniques used in auditing through the computer. The 5 techniques used in auditing through the computer includes 1, use of tested data. Use of tested data. Data have to be tested. You not just come and pick every data and you put it on. You need to test the data. If the data are accurate, are they primary data? Are they secondary data? Are they data that you need to move from one place to another to check your data? 2, integrate tested facilities. You need to integrate the tested facilities. Are the facilities are okay? Are they working fine? 3, parallel simulation to test programs. There's a parallel simulation to test the program. 4, use of audit techniques to validate computer programs. Use of audit techniques to validate computer programs. So you use those audit techniques or how you do it to validate the programs. Then we also 5, use of logs to renew system software and use of documentation and CATs to validate users' account. Also assess privilege and use of embedded audit modules to achieve continuous auditing. Then we look at types of auditing. Types of audits. We look at types of audits. 1, we look at compliance audits. The compliance audit. We have look at construction audit. We look at information system audit. We look at investigation audit and operational audit. We also look at the tax audit. We look at tax audit. Now, the issue is the investigation audit, operational audit. They have to look at what the account is saying, how it is being run, and look at the way it is done. Then we look at the tax audit. Tax audit, that is every whatever an accountant wants to do, or the auditor, you must put that in mind, that the CAMA or the allied matters, they want to know what is coming in, what is going out, because they also after the tax, they want to make their money out of it. Then we look at steps to audit. Steps to audit. Now, number 1, conducting the internal review. That's planning the audit. You are conducting the internal review. You are looking at papers. You are looking at all the checkbooks. You are looking at them. Are they right? Are they working? Did they do them well? Did the internal auditor, who is the accountant of the organization, did he really do a good work, or he did a very bad work? You need to know that. Then you now start your work. Then 2, review and assessing internal control. You review everything about the organization. You see every person that is handling something, from the sales to purchases to people who are spending. You have to review. Then the next one is compliance tested. That is testing the internal controls. The internal controls, everything about inside must be tested if they are working fine. The next one is substantive test. That testing the details, that is data and reporting. That's the conclusion. Then you do your conclusion. Then you need to know if there's any problem in it, then you need to write. And this auditing, once it is concluded, it must be simple to read. You must be able to read it. Even if you have not read, you've not gone into school to study accounting, you must be able to read it. And you know, as a business person, one of the things they go through to know if yes they are doing fine is just to go through the profit area. Did they make profit? What was the profit made? And did they beat last year's profit, or is not up to last year's profit? What really happened to it? Then you'll be able to know everything about that. Then today we are looking at Page 3 Accounting System 2000. Page 3 Accounting System 2000 is an accounting application for small and medium-sized business, SMBS, and made by Saga, Saga Software. It enables controllers and managers to automate and manage numerous accounting tasks like reconciling accounting payable and receivable. It helps all those who are just coming up in the business. Yes, helps them to know how to arrange their money, how to enter them. It helps them. They will look at the advantage of Page 3 system. The advantage. Now, number one, it enables you to issue invoice to customers. You can issue invoice to your customers or clients that come to purchase or to buy. You can give them receipts to receive payment. You can pay through that to people. You know, that sometimes we call them internet banking. You can pay to people. People can pay to you also, and you receive your money. And also, we have the enter payables for your vendors. Enter payables for your vendors. Maybe there are people who need money for that day, or that you need to pay, that you enter payable for your vendors. The next one is can print checks and pay your employees. Can print checks and pay your once you are programming those who want to collect money as your employees. Once your programs, maybe you can program it to be 24, between 24 to 28, and once the program is done, you just discover maybe on the 28th everybody's receiving their paychecks, and yes, and your employers are happy. Have you received a lot? Yes, I've received that. So it helps to pay instead of muddling up things. You can pay through your Page 3 system. The next one is that can print checks. I've said that. The next one is can track expenses. It can track expenses, how money is being moved, who is spending what, and what is spending. You can track your expenses. Yes, you can determine what is spent in a day, in a week. In 1 hour, you can track your expenses. Are they spending too much, or they are not spending too much? Are they spending towards the objectivity of the organization? If they are not, they need to be cautioned. Then last one, it's full of all kinds of preloaded reports. All kinds of preloaded reports. You want the sales report, you want the financial report, you want the purchases report, you want the report of your creditors or your debtors. It can print everything out. So it has so many things, yes, that you can easily talk about. Then we also look at features of Page 3 accounting system. Features of Page 3 accounting system. Then we look at users of Page accounting program. Vary members, that is vary in numbers of users that can access the program. When we talk about users of Page accounting program, vary in numbers of users that can access the program. Next one is it is business management tools. It's a business management tool. It can be used to make decision. If the decision on the organization, it can be used for decision. Next one is customer service. It can be used for customer service. And what do we do in customer service? You work with it just to monitor your customers, to see if your customers are doing well. And the limitation is that it can be hacked. Also, it can be hacked by somebody. Your account can be hacked by somebody who can just put his one password and hacks your account. So that is why if you are operating this, your password must be a strong password, must be a very strong one, and it should not be known by everybody in the organization. Can only be known by few people who are entitled to the finance of the organization. Then also, unknown error can occur. Unknown error can always occur, and that can mess things up. Then we look at Pacioli accounting system 2000. Now, Pacioli is a father of a double entry system. Is a father of double entry system, and that's the person who have given us the debit and the credit side of the account. So it's a recent entry into the accounting information system market, and designed with small business in mind. It's designed for small business in mind. So Persoli 2000 is flexible and completed and fairly easy to use. It costs less than $50, yet the features often only found in accounting information system costing as much as $1,000. So it's a new system, has a very good features, so you can work on that. Then we also look at DAC Easy Accounting System 2000. It's a powerful, easy use, complete accounting solution that have been winning awards and satisfying users for more than a decade. The DAC Easy is a series of full integrated modules that give vital information. It gives vital information. It fits into every accounting requirement and offer affordable software for small business. It is powerful and easy to use and very comprehensive software package with a flexible feature to fit into your small business accounting needs. It includes accounting modules also, general ledger, we talk about general ledger, accounts receivable, account payable, and more. Those are the things that it contains. It has business center modules. That's a centralized location for quick access data, cloud hosting. Users also utilize Zaka easy accounting and can make the most of the accounting, payroll, order entry, POS, and job costing function by hosting it on Trapped Technology Accounting Cloud. So there is so much advantage in that, and it's compatibility that's access to your financial data and run reports on any computer tablet. Now, let's look at my assignment. My assignment is, what are the major fraud of accounting computer fraud? What are major causes of accounting computer fraud? Don't forget, what are the major causes of accounting computer fraud? Please send that to me on my Gmail. That is jogba2804 at gmail.com. You send it to my Gmail. So we look at, what I'm saying is that major causes of accounting computer fraud. What are the major causes? So now let's go back to our lecture. We say compatibility. We talk about that it can function in all reports on the computer, tablet, and operating system. It has a good features. Ensure that information enter or modules lie in the system will clear audit trails, and it backs up your accounting information. It backs up your accounting information. Then we look at the Deluxe Accounting System 2000. It gives one view of a business instead of having to manage multiple spreadsheets. One view of system, or instead of multiple spreadsheets. Like, when you have those spreadsheets, one person is handling this, one is handling the debtors own, one is handling the creditors. No, it is just one. It gives you a focus on just one sheet of the computer. Then allows accounting efficiency and manage fraud anywhere. It's managed fraud is better in managing the fraud. Then also access your client's data from any devices, whether in your office or on the phone. Through this quick Deluxe, you can, like you can just press who you're one of your customers to know if it's working, it's not working, or why it's not there. You can press it. Then we look at client data is always no longer needs to pass file back and forth. You don't need data of your client. Just pressing the button, all those things comes out. Then uncover more insight. It uncover more insight that spend more time analyzing your client data instead of entering it. Uncover more insight instead of spending more time analyzing your client's data. Then what you do is just enter it. Then real-time collaboration. Talk about real-time collaboration. You can both be in your client's books at the same time, working together to run their business. That's a very good one. You can both, the same time working together on their business. Then gives you what you need most to run your business. All the techniques needed to run your business, it gives them to you so that you can run the business in a very proper way. Then all in all, one place compare plans and price. Well, all in one place, compare plan and price. You can look at the place and also compare them to the plans and the price, the objective of the organization. Then it is designed to eliminate the complexity and difficult process of managing your cash flow and make decision making faster and better. Then also it tracks all your income and expenses. It tracks all your income and expenses while showing your actual profit and loss. It helps you. That is a very good one. I wish you get it on right. Then manages multiple currency transaction, local or domiciliary accounts. Can multiple, maybe you have domiciliary accounts, you have accounts, that they are paying dollars into. It helps you. Then we also look at it creates send and keep record of transaction. It creates and send and record of transaction. Then accounting, so auditing items. Let's look at some of the auditing terms here. The auditing terms, we look at the audit evidence. That's facts granted using the audit procedure that provide a reasonable basis for doing an option regarding financial statement on that date. There must be audit evidence. Then audit risk, the risk of forcing an inappropriate opinion on the financial statement audit. There must be a risk, there. Then control risk, risk that is companies won't detect or prevent or that not or prevent mistakes. It's a risk. You can't control it. And then we have due professional care. They are taking time to gather reasonable audit evidence to support the fact that the financial statement transaction, that is due professional care, taking time to gather reasonable audit evidence to support the fact that the financial statement transaction. Then we look at the general accepted audit standard, auditing guidelines for planning, auditing, and reporting on it. Then we also look at inherent risk, the likelihood of arising at an accurate auditing conclusion based on the nature of the client, inability to rise, possibly because of the client. Then we also look at internal control, the preparing standard a client uses to prevent or undercover mistakes. These are internal control. They discover the mistakes and the problem that is happening. Then we have management assertions. Management assertions are presentations that the management of the company make on financial statements. Where what are the things that they write on the financial statement? Are they saying they've made profit or they have not made profit? Or what are they saying? Then we also look at the professional skepticism, approaching and auditing with a questioning mindset, where you question the auditor with a questioning mindset. Then objectivity, the ability to evaluate client record with no preconceived notion or prejudice, with no preconceived notion or prejudice. Then we now look at integrating. We now look at the integrating accounting software. Integrating accounting software. Now we will not touch that today because our time is very much gone and we have just something. But before I'm being cautioned, let's look at integrating accounting software. An integrating accounting system is an application software in which all the necessary features are connected to each other. The necessary features are connected to each other. This avoids the need to have separate books or record for ordering costs and financial purpose. Under non-integrated accounting system, financial accounting and inventory costs accounting books stroke ledger are separated, separated and maintained. The system is called non-integrated system of maintaining accounting. Then we look at the advantage of integrating accounting system. What are the advantages? Number one, we say the financial cost transactions are recorded in an integrated ledger. You said?
Please time up.
Okay, ledger which itself balances, then it saves time. So by the grace of God, we meet again. We're rounding up here. Just submit your assignment before the next lecture. Thank you very much, and God bless you.